Every time I get back in front of the camera, I get shy. And then it takes me some time to warm up.
Oh, yeah, I got cooked.
Yeah.
I got cooked online.
That's the life of TikTok, though.
Yeah. Like, you can't imagine being at 40% or 30% occupancy, but it happens. The sharp decline is crazy sometimes.
Yeah. The thief was so clever. They probably turned off the Wi-Fi, turned off the connection. How long have you been running it? They say we literally just got this property yesterday. Yeah. How do you know what it's making, please? Welcome to the Property Project podcast, where we talk all things property, but also help you to resolve some of the dilemmas that you come up with.
But before you do that, we'd love if you could help us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel so you could get more content from us.
So, how have you been today?
Yeah, I've been good.
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously we're starting I'm guessing this is a new setup.
A new setup.
Okay, so talk me through. Why don't you say how you're doing then?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm good. Today's been a good day. It's been a trying week and trying month, shall I say, but today's been a good day. I think a few good things have happened. A few, I want to say bad things have also happened, but it hasn't really affected me. Like spilling green tea all over my laptop. It's got everything in it.
Yeah.
But here's what it is. I'm not really upset about that.
I am multitasking because I've just had a call from someone who I have no clue who this person is. But I'm trying to work out if it's a guest or not. But we are recording, so yeah. Do you know what? It's not funny, but one of your shorts, the short clips that we do of the YouTube videos, went out on TikTok. And you didn't have very many fans from...
Oh, yeah, I got cooked.
Yeah.
I got cooked online.
That's the life of TikTok, though.
Yeah.
But the good thing is a lot of them went to go watch the podcast, which was great.
Well, this is the thing. Did any of them comment from it?
No.
I bet they watched it. They watched the whole thing and realised it actually wasn't that deep what they saw on the minute. But, yeah, I don't know.
It's been your star moment of the week?
Yeah. I just think... Because I don't normally rise to those type of people online. And, you know, when they just say stuff.
Is it those? I mean, people obviously comment and stuff. I don't know if they're types of people. I just think they're people who like to get involved.
No, I think there's definitely like trolls out there. They go through and actually just write whatever they think is going to rile people up. I honestly feel like that.
Can I just say that I've come from work, finished at 5. We went to a viewing.
Yeah.
Then I had to do my makeup in the car. I also have a rash on my face. And like, I feel I ate cheese. Obviously, I did it to myself. My friends from school know this. Everybody who knows me knows this. Like, I'm allergic to cheese, but I'm going to eat anyway because, like, why not? And I had cheese and I've got a rash on my face. So, yeah, it's been all right, though. It's been an all right month.
Yeah.
It's been an all right month. It's just not been our top achieving month, but it's been an all right month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what we can do, innit? Give thanks.
I'm wondering where you're going with this. That's why.
No. Like, I'm just asking how you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, how these lot ain't seen you in how long? A month? 2 months?
Do you know, it doesn't feel like that, though.
It doesn't feel like that. But that's how it goes. But yeah, so this episode we're going to be talking about the hidden costs, or the costs that people don't talk about. They don't show, because everyone's always showing like profits and bookings and everything like that. And then when people, especially new operators, get involved in the space and they realise what the actual expenses are, they're then thinking, a lot of them are thinking that they're doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean? Again, I was just thinking about like, what's up?
Every time I get back in front of the camera, I get shy. And then it takes me some time to warm up.
Yeah, I feel like...
That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Happens when you're a star, you know.
Don't know about that one. You got stage fright at the moment.
That's why I always have stage fright.
Oh, man. But yeah, like, so kind of just thinking about a recent time that expenses have kind of hit us hard. And one of those times for me anyway was it end of last year when we lost a lot of money?
No, it was January.
Was it January?
Yeah, January is always like just an uncomfortable month.
It's like a reset.
Like the start of it was towards the end, because a lot of our long-term bookings left towards like on like the 20th of December, you know, literally just before Christmas. So I guess we didn't feel it that much in December, but January was like a huge loss. Yeah.
And I also think as well, like the algorithm didn't help the Airbnb and
something happened to Airbnb.
Happened with it.
They're doing something again now.
I'm
convinced they're doing something again now.
They will never let you know. They will never tell you what's going on,
because of how the app has been showing up. Like it's been showing like duplicate listings of our own listings and things like that. But I feel like they're doing something. They always make their app much better.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm against it, but it probably would be nice to have a little heads up or to know where to look to find these things, because it does impact your business when they're doing like app changes or things like that.
But I guess it's kind of the same as when, you know how like if we're making changes to our property but still running it, we kind of fit things in where we can. And sometimes it might inconvenience a guest, but then we might kind of be like, oh, well, you know, that was there already, or maybe that was just the last guest that, do you know what I mean? But so you're trying to make sure that you can make things better, make changes, but while still, you don't want to fully shut down. Otherwise, if you shut down, you can't get no money. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it's a kind of an element of that. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, in January, we obviously lost quite a lot of money, which I think a lot of people aren't really ready for. In terms of when they say they want to scale, but when you scale, you get bigger profits, but you also get bigger losses at times as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So do you want to kind of elaborate on that?
I think basically what we're saying is we speak to our mentees a lot, and not just even our mentees, to a lot of people, and they say that they want to scale up, or they want to, I really want to have more than like 5 properties by the end of the year, but they don't know what it actually takes. Like, yeah, you can have 5 properties and during the summer months be raking in like 15k profit from those 5 properties, or, you know, making up random numbers for people making up random numbers. But in the winter, that same double amount that you were making will decrease over those winter periods, those low seasons, and then people aren't ready. Like, oh, like if I'd known, I wouldn't have done this. But when you was laughing it up in the summer seasons, it wasn't an issue. So I think some people just don't realize that it comes with a lot more than I just want to grow my portfolio. When you ask for something, more things come. So it's not. It doesn't just stop there.
And it's not always in the package that you expect it to be in.
Do you know
what I mean? It comes with other things as well. And I think that's just the main thing to think about. It just then becomes a thing of you have to strategically plan your finances. You might have a month that is banging. You have like you've made $2,000. Plus, but you have to also be aware of, okay, what have I got in the future? What's the winter going to be looking like? Because sometimes it's hard to imagine a month without many bookings when you're in the middle of months that have a lot of bookings. You just can't imagine. You're thinking, oh, okay, I'm hitting 95% occupancy. And then, you know, you're thinking, well, there's no way that even, I know that November and December is quite bad, but naturally you're going to be like, you can't imagine being at 40% or 30% occupancy. But it happens. The sharp decline is crazy sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's just it with... I've kind of gotten used to it. The word has got accustomed to it. It's like, it's up and down business. Like, understand that some months are going to be good. Like, when we come in and we're recording during like June, July, August, you're going to see the fattest smiles on our faces. Right now, we are drawn out. But just to keep it like light, you know, I don't really like the serious talk because I feel like it gets serious. My brain can't like...
Yeah.
We love you, property managers. We love you, property managers. We absolutely love you. But what is the dumbest cost that they have caused us? Or what's the dumbest cost either of us have cost ourselves, or even the VAs for the business, where you've been like, mate, did we have to spend that?
I personally think it is the...
We love you, by the way.
Yeah, we love you. We've got stories. Listen, it's not us if we don't go through an experience and not have a story. But I think it was the one where... we had to pay for a call out, but it's like we're paying, but nothing's been done. So we just given someone money.
That would happen I think 2 or 3 times in the week where we paid the cleaner to go out and do a mid-stay clean, but everything hadn't been organised the way that it needed to be organised. And we ended up paying for like 2 cleans that never happened, basically, like call outs for the cleans.
And not just that one. I'm talking about where the guy was supposed to go in and look at the wardrobe to see.
Oh, yeah.
And then he couldn't get access to it because the guest didn't leave a spare key.
Yeah.
But our property managers know where the spare key is. But at this time they didn't. And then, you know, that person said, well, you know what? I came to do a job. I can't do that job. I'm going to charge you a call-out fee. And the call-out fee was about, what, 95?
But then one of the property managers, a really good job, she managed to get it to £50 with a good review. I think she's done that review.
Yeah.
But
it was
yeah.
It was just one of those ones that's like, we're paying this money, but nothing's actually been done.
No.
We still need whatever job he went out to go and do to be done. So it's just like, I think that was that one there. It's just the one.
I think one that annoyed me, there was actually this week. Was it this week?
Really?
When they went to check the fridge, and the fridge, we were just told that the fridge just needs to be defrosted. And it's like, why didn't we just ask the guest to open the fridge? Like this, do you know what it is? There's like multiple steps that you have to go through in order to not just waste and lose money in your business.
Yeah, it's a trouble.
And when you've got, see, again, it's that simple thing. People think as you grow your business, it makes it easier. So as you bring on more staff, as you bring on more people, it makes it a lot easier. But actually, it's been the most expensive 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've and I say 2 months because we've added more people like officially, but it's been the most expensive 2 months, which means like people, again, it's like for efficiency purposes, it's just like get somebody who can fix it out there, and then like just get it done. But essentially, things that we would have done at the start of the business, because we had the time, number one, we didn't have the money. Number two was going out there to fix. We were the solution. We were maintenance. Like, mate, there's things that I've done, like I said in one of the episodes, that no longer permits me to be a passenger princess or a damsel in distress. Like, Shaun's now seen me fix light bulbs. He's seen me like paint walls. He's seen me like take the trash out. You know, when have I ever taken the bins out? I don't.
When you try to go back to the damsel in distress, I'm like, listen.
Shaun's like, I've literally seen you screw drive. Something is so we were the answer before, but now as you grow a team, again, this is part of the losses that you're gonna experience as you systemize your team and as you grow your business. There's gonna be a lot of costs that come with that, and like sometimes you're gonna question those costs. But like I said, we now value time over money. Like that is just it essentially, and we're learning that gradually. It does hurt, don't get me wrong, but it hurts way less than it used to hurt. You know, a year ago when someone would tell us, oh, you got to pay £400 for the boiler to be fixed, or someone would then tell us, oh yeah, this random cost has to come out because it can't be fixed.
But even in that though, I do feel like even when we were the ones who were doing the running up and down and having to, you know, meet up with people like contractors and whatever, we're still asking, when something was wrong, we're still asking certain questions because we know we don't really want to make that journey. Making that journey is like the last option. We want to ask, have you turned the TV on?
We've gotten spoiled.
Yeah,
we've gotten spoiled. I think we're now used to like, we got to a space where we're like, oh, no longer are we going to be going up there like it, because we would go up there for things like that where it's like just flipping, do the channel, like click the button, do something. We got to that space where it was like we'd go down for silly things and be like, it only took 10 minutes for that to be done. Like, why did we travel an hour and a half? And we live slightly further out to where we live now. That it would be like, why did we travel an hour and a half to fix and be a solution for 10 minutes? It's not worth it. Because then you end up losing 3 hours, 30 minutes over something that took 10 minutes to be fixed. So it's like, just pay the £50 call out fee for somebody to come out. Just pay the £70. Just pay the £100 call out fee for someone to come out and resolve it, because at least we still get 3 hours and a half time that we haven't lost.
And when you get someone else out as well, just making sure that they actually do it properly, because it's easy to just be like, okay, tell them to go and do it.
The maintenance guy that used to take from us. If you haven't watched that episode, there was a maintenance guy, a real quick one. Another cost that you will start to incur if you get not lazy in your business, you try to get more effective with your time. But in doing that, it means not everyone can have your time. Not everything can have your time. So we had a maintenance guy that would come along to do the job, built a really good relationship with him. He lives on the island that we have all our properties on. And was I not supposed to say that? Okay.
I'm not, listen. You know what? I've had a little change in thought process, because I know that sometimes you expect me to tell you off for certain things that you're saying, right? So I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, I want you to flourish. That's what I want.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, you can go on.
I appreciate that. But yeah, he lives on that same island that all our properties on. So we're like, literally, this is perfect. We've got a maintenance guy who knows the area. The island itself, how it's built, like all the things are specific to the properties. So once one runs one way, all the rest of the properties run that way. So it's like, great. He knows exactly what he's going to need to do. It's not like confusing to him because he literally has the same thing in his house. He's also a maintenance guy. This is perfect. Then he started stealing from us. He started faking floods in the house. He started faking breakdowns of the boiler.
Sending videos, patting the water.
Patting water, telling us if we don't deal with the boiler situation right now, there's going to be a fire and we're going to have civil movements against us. But yeah, essentially, those are the kinds of things that will add to your cost, that you can't really manage cost the way you were at the start of your business. The start of your business, you're always penny pinching. So you're like, oh, I'm not going to spend on that. I'm just going to do the painting myself. It's going to save me money. I'm not going to spend on that. I'm just going to do that. But what that ends up happening is that you lack quality. But you also lack time.
Control that.
You lack quality and you lack time.
100%.
And then as you grow your business, what we're noticing now at this stage is that, great, you're getting back time. Maybe even getting lazy sometimes with your time because you're getting back time. But then the quality of the things that are happening, you're not really overseeing in that kind of way, because your attention is now growing the systems, growing the business, doing the things that you feel are going to generate you more money. So it's a little bit hard to balance it. But either way, there's always a problem.
Yeah, there's always a problem. But again, I think the more systems that you have in place, the more you're able to deal with those problems, because those problems are always going to come. But again, it's kind of a thing where when these problems happen, I think for us, we notice that, okay, when a problem happens, we think of what system would be a solution for that. And then we start to work on it. The issue is that you can't just come up with a system just like that. You have to create it, put thought and effort into it, and then obviously see if it actually works. If it doesn't, bring it back to the lab and fix it up and whatever, and then put it back out there. So things are always going to happen like that. But whilst you're doing that and whilst you're waiting for it to be the perfect system, you're still putting out fires. You're still... trying to sort things out. Do you know what I mean? So
just to add as well, as a final, another cost that you probably wouldn't even... A lot of the costs that come are people stealing from you. Do you know how wild that is? Someone has stolen our Ring doorbell, one of our flipping tenants. And when I find who it is, I'm going to ring their necks.
And this is the problem as well.
You just got to.
This is the problem because... Why even I know the Ring doorbell's gone.
No, it's literally missing.
I know it's gone.
Someone has unscrewed
why don't we have
footage of it? We don't even have footage of the thief. So the thief was so clever. They probably turned off the Wi-Fi, turned off the connection, knowing that, because you had to have been that there was no feed whatsoever.
But this is what I don't get, because we pay a subscription, we pay a cloud subscription to be able to store any footage that has happened. There's no footage on that one. Why? So I now need to speak to Ring
to be like, find me the culprit. Who stole the Ring doorbell?
The GPS that's inside.
So now what we've done in return is we're going to get bad boy CCTV inside the property, because you think you're going to do that? I'll get 4 cameras now and you'll really see who can see you before you do something stupid. It's those kind of costs that do come up, but people don't really factor in those costs. They'll be like, oh yeah, they've done a little spreadsheet. This is how my rent to SA is going to work. This is how my Airbnb is going to, how much money it's going to make. And that's when you hear stupid people saying stupid things. About my rent to SA it's going to make £1,000, or is making. The statement is making £1,000. Then you ask them how much. How long have you been running? They say, we literally just got this property yesterday. How do you know what it's making, please? How do you know what it's making?
Because I get you can estimate. Anyone can estimate. Do you know what I mean? But I just think to myself, like, come on, man. If you're giving the figures based on a year and you've only been running for less than a month, less than a week, come on, man. Just take it easy. I understand projected costs and projected incomings and whatever, but just like take it easy, because what you're going to do is people aren't going to look at the way you've described that money. They're just going to look at the money. If I'm going to start saying, okay, we've made 60k this year off this one property, but we've had it for like
2 months.
It doesn't make any
in the winter month as well.
It doesn't make 60K. Any sense. And this is it.
I think people don't really think about that, but there's so many costs to it, and
And I was thinking even with costs as well, one thing that I didn't really account for is the more properties you get, the more Ring doorbells you have to get, the more subscriptions you have to pay. Now I know there's other alternatives to getting like cameras and stuff like that. There's different alternatives and whatever. There's ones that you can pay for just for the camera, and then you just pay for a memory card and that's it. But once you're on the Ring system kind of thing, sometimes it's hard to change it, because then that means that you've got a whole bunch of Ring cameras that you could probably sell, but you're not going to get what you paid for them. Do you know what I mean? And then now you have to spend more money to get the other cameras in place. But
you know what we did that was such a good thing? We bought a lot of our Ring doorbells during Black Friday. I think it was like a Black Friday sale or some sort of January sale, and we just stored them because we kind of knew we were going to scale up. That is the best thing that you can do, because that £49 that it sells at, in comparison to that £99 or £129 or whatever.
Do you remember when there was like an error on one of the sites and we got like 3 for like £27? Do you not remember? Like it was £9, and then it was like £11 if you add a chime or something. That's why I got the 2 chimes.
Is that where they were from?
Yeah.
Okay, that
I
makes
can't remember
sense.
where it was, if it was Argos or direct on the Ring website, but literally, and we really took advantage of that.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
glad.
it's about that.
But yeah, so in terms of like costs and stuff like that, between me and you, who do you think is the most willing or the most likely to just spend?
You. I think in
You didn't
personal,
even think.
there's nothing to think about. No, let me land.
No. Let me land. You shot me down in the sky. Okay, go on.
I would say, in personal life, I have reckless behavior. Like Shaun and I literally just got a holiday, and if I told you the cost of the holiday, a normal person might say, not that it was like so expensive, like it's not like it was so expensive, but if I told you the cost of the holiday, you're gonna be like, literally just go down the road to Greece. Like, what do you think this is? Like, who do you think you are? Do you know what I mean? But I thought life is for living. Yeah, spend. But in the business, you take 2p out of the account, and I'm like, was that really reasonable? Like, are you proud of yourself? Like, what would make you do that? Like, you went to get a drawer, a chest of drawers, and I sat you down, and I was like, this is not... That £200 you just spent on the drawer.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing.
Acceptable.
You got on camera because she just said £200, but the item was £149.
And when you round up, what does that take you to? Simple math.
£150.
No. It's you people that's why you people are late like that. Because when you round up time, if you don't round up time correctly, you're always going to be late. You need to learn how to round up time. That's why these days I'm more on time than you. But we won't get there. We won't get there. But the fact of the matter is, personally, I will take accountability for personal. Personally, I spend a lot. If you went to the shop right now, you said you spilled liquid on your laptop. Yeah. I said straight away, so let's buy a new one. I didn't even look at the option of let's fix it. I text Shaun and I was like, yeah, let's buy a new one. Like, what's up? And Shaun was like, no, it's literally okay. Yeah. But that's what I understand personally. Yeah. Yes. However, business wise, you are reckless.
I wouldn't say reckless.
You're reckless.
I wouldn't.
You
say
are.
Reckless.
I'm not. You are.
Give me another example of when I've been reckless with
Shaun.
The spending.
You just ordered. What did you just order from Amazon? Didn't tell me a thing. This guy woke up from his sleep, still sleep stuck in his eye, still dry bogey in his nose, and went downstairs. I thought, look to my left, look to my right. So where's this guy? Where's he gone? He's gone downstairs at 6 a.m. in the morning to go and order a whole set of camera like accessories, and all I see is arriving today, arriving on Friday. That's all I saw.
But guess what?
And that was a random thought.
But where did it come?
Where did the random thought? No,
it wasn't a random.
It's giving toxicity right now. No. It's giving toxicity. You need to chill. You need to relax. Some may call this gaslighting, but it is what it is.
Again, I didn't use the business account to pay for that.
That's not the point. But you know, although you didn't use the business account,
so it was a personal.
No. Hold on.
Exactly.
Although you didn't use the business account, you didn't use the business account because I just sat you down on the edge of the chair and said to you, sweetheart, that £200 that you just spent for the wardrobe, you didn't even look at the bookkeeping before you went and spent that.
I did, but I just didn't look at it.
But if I said to you,
I didn't look at it in depth.
If I said, because I'm the financier,
the bookkeeper,
I'm the financier,
the bookkeeper.
Cindy the financier. That's what you guys need to call me.
Did you ever think that maybe
there's no maybe
no, I allowed you to be in control of the finances so that you
didn't let me do anything.
You would stop being spending Cindy, fam.
No, I spend Cindy on personal. You spend Shaun on personal and business.
No, not in personal.
Personal.
Not in personal.
Depends what we're spending on.
Yeah, but come on, you know, I'm very few and far between.
But you're easily led by me, and that's your problem.
No, not really.
This is exactly.
I'm not easily led by you. It's just more that I'm like, you know what? What's the worst? I look at what's the worst that can happen.
You're sensible, like we all know. Okay, you're sensible. Does that grind you? It's just a fact. You're sensible and I'm spontaneous. So when I do something silly, I drag you with me. But the fact of the matter is, to keep it plain and simple, you definitely spend a lot more in the business. 1,000, you'll be like, another idea today. Another idea. Should we just spend? And I'll be like, depending on what the accounts are saying, yeah, go for it or don't go for it. But personally, I am the worst. Like, I would happily, on a 4-day holiday, Spend a number I'm not willing to say, but I would.
Yeah. I think it's about balance. I think it's about balance.
Is that what you got from this?
No. I do think
Where's
it's
the
about balance because I feel like, again, obviously you're saying that how I can be with money. Sometimes I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the real figures and thinking, okay, does that make sense for what we're doing? But sometimes understand that it doesn't need to make sense. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, all right, just enjoy yourself, and
it doesn't need to make sense.
It doesn't because, like, you know, just enjoy yourself and go out and do what you got to do. Because once you've paid that money for whatever you're gonna get, as long as it makes sense in terms of you're doing it for your enjoyment or whatever, then cool. You're not gonna think about
life memories.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? There's so many times where
so then I can spend X amount.
No, that's not what I've said. That's not what I've said. But as we were talking about like balance and stuff like that, what do you think about people posting inquiries?
Wait, I thought we had who's more willings. I want more who's more willing.
Okay, you want more.
Yeah.
She wants more, guys. All right. What's one thing that you spent money on and regretted?
Is that a sentence? Regretted or regret?
I'm sure it's a word.
It's a word, but is that the right sentence?
Okay.
Because you all know my English is actually...
Yeah, all right, so then... What's one thing in the business that you spent on and then you kind of instantly regretted it?
Not fully, just the amount that I spent. The amount that I spent, I feel like was excessive.
Okay.
And it's for one of our first trainings.
One of your
I feel like, yeah, mate, first of all, how did you get
instant
18K from me, please? How did you?
Yeah.
How... Because that is a deposit somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe
was it instant regret, or when did you feel like you regretted it?
That's a good question, you know. Maybe about 6 months in.
Okay, all right. Because
I was on adrenaline the first, like, you know, we were getting properties first, like 3 to 4 weeks. We got 2 properties. Then we got another one the next month. Then we got another one, like I think it was like March or something. Then we literally just were stacking. We spent the whole year stacking so that the second year we could slow down.
Yeah.
And then going into the third year is like all about systems for us so that we can move into the next strategy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely say that's something I do regret spending that amount. Maybe not spending it as a whole, but spending that amount on, because how did you still 18K not feel bad? And that's even, I don't even know if I'm completely, that's even without the initial that we spent.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to say not the first lots of training, but the most recent lot of training that we spent.
Okay.
Because every time I just think to myself, like, that
was on some BRR training.
Yeah, on some BRR training, and I thought he was going to say that was on some bullshit. That's what I thought he was going to say. So for me, straight away, as soon as I saw that Monzo notification come out, I just thought,
yeah, we weren't sure. We thought new year, new us, like we're going to start taking this seriously, that seriously.
Because we can't be telling people to invest in themselves, invest in training, and not be doing the same thing. Right? So we took a leaf out of our own book, out of our own advice, and decided, you know what, we're going to pay for training because BRRs is what we want to go into. We're going to pay for training, everything, cool. Even when we had a chat with the person whose training we were buying, we weren't fully convinced that we were going to get what we wanted from it, but we still went with it because we was like, we're not going to let negativity or negative thoughts in the background kind of deter us from going forward, because that's what happens with a lot of people, right? But I wish we listened to it. Yeah,
I think it was a decision based on emotion. Realistically, we were feeling, and I think people think when you make a decision based on emotion, it's usually negative, but actually you can make a lot of bad decisions in a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know, when it's like not new us, but it was like certain goals we wanted to achieve at the beginning of the year. We're not going to slow down. We're going to tear this year apart. Like this year's our year type vibe. But we got so polluted with this year's our year. Like this year bit us in the bum with one of those, like buying some of those trainings. So and we did it at the very beginning of this year. So it was a bit learning.
I think for transparency, we probably spent about 8K.
Yeah,
8K in total on that training at one go.
Had to
and
get
then
a
we got
refund
slapped with like a bad month or two. So I think maybe that compounded and made
it wasn't that excellent, to be honest.
Yeah.
That training wasn't that
No. Definitely not. The training was,
which is interesting. The things that have given us the most knowledge and helped us grow in a sense have been to an extent, also the things that have robbed us of a lot of things, which is quite interesting. But yeah,
definitely. But yeah, this is the thing. I think just when it comes to spending on training and stuff like that, I don't think there's many other things that I've kind of spent.
No, not really.
Because at the end of the day, when you spend on it, you kind of just think, all right, I don't want to have to do that, but I did it's been done.
Yeah, and there's some things I should regret, but I don't. So.
like what?
Maybe even when we spent on ourselves from the business, I feel like...
Yeah. No, because the business, sometimes we're here just killing ourselves for the business sometimes. Sometimes the business needs to kill itself for us.
And that's what, the other day I was like, do you know what? The business actually needs to do something for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. But, come to the end of that episode. If you want to find out more about what it actually takes to... or how much it costs to actually run a team, or the actual outgoings that come with operating a service accommodation, just let us know and give us a shout. Yeah. Why are you always laughing?
I just think sometimes. What was the close?
I don't know. You closed it.
I don't have a close.
All right, there we go then. But yeah, cool.
Thank you for watching to the end, guys. We really appreciate it. As a little thank you gift to you, we'd like to give you an invite to join our free WhatsApp community where we drop a lot of gems.
If you're still watching, then thank you so much. But more importantly, if you could like and subscribe to this channel to help us bring you more content that we know you'll just love.